Hello, welcome to Talk with Christie. On our channel today, we're going to narrow into parenting. We're going to be considering the true things that we ought to know. We want to join the society to improve our parenting skills. We want to bring our attention to things that we ought to do. We want us to understand the rudiments of parenting. We want us to pay more attention to how we've been doing it and how we can do better. So what to know about parenting is what we'll be looking into in giving it a detailed approach. So we urge that you join us and go through this ride. So thank you for joining us on Talk with Christie. I want to tell us something about parenting. Before we go further, I want us to understand that parenting is a commitment, is a decision that you make when you choose to bring up a younger person from infancy, from babyhood. You choose to raise this child and help the child grow strong physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually. You help this child attain healthy adulthood. Okay, so for you to have been said that your parenting, you have to go through the different stages of growth and development with this child until the child attains a proper adulthood. And for you to really score hard here, you see that it's actually demanding. There are things you have to sacrifice to get parenting right. Parenting is a task. Parenting is a skill. Parenting is hard work. Okay, like every other project we'll have, parenting is one project that takes your time, your energy, your resources, anything you can name, anything you could just remember. Parenting will take it away from you, but it's also a very rewarding exercise to embark on. Parenting is huge. Okay, so the most important question that should be answered before we discuss this very interesting and educating topic is that as an individual, as a person, you have to ask yourself these two questions. After I have stated them out, you have to be honest with yourself. There is no deception with what we do. Ultimately, our results tells us if we're getting it right or not. Okay, so we should be very true to ourselves. Okay, so the first question there is to be answered is that if you are intending to be a parent or you're already one, what kind of a parent do you want to become, or what kind of a parent are you? Okay, because you must be a kind of parent. There is something you are doing to get results. There is how you've been approaching parenting. There is something you've been doing with your kids. Okay, so there must be an approach. So, and if you're about embarking on the journey, you must have a view, you must have a knowledge, you must have a design through your mind that you want to use to walk through. Okay, because parenting is quite challenging, it's demanding. Like we said, it's a skill, so you have to do that. So the question continues like, okay, what kind of a parent are you, and what skills tailored to your personality have you gathered and you're ready to work with, to harmonize such skills so as to help you get results at all costs? Because if you will not want to fail with your project as a person, you will not want to fail with your business, your career, why should you fail with parenting? Parenting is a skill. If you've ever decided you're not going to fail with anything in life, then don't fail with parenting, okay? It's costly. Okay, so the first question, like we said, is what kind of a parent are you desiring to become, or what kind of parents are you already, and the skills that you have acquired considering your personality. Okay, the next one is the second question is, what kind of child or children do you want to raise, and with what material resources are you equipping yourself towards achieving your set goals, your target for parenting? Like we mentioned, parenting is a skill and requires some form of expertise to win and to get results. Getting it right involves you succeeding with all your children if you have more than one, and if you have one, it requires that you must do it right and help the child attain good adulthood. Okay, parenting should come, with a heart of determination, not leaving your responsibilities and what you ought to do to chances, or be in the habit of giving excuses, or having reasons why it should fail. Okay, specifically I'm stating this because I know the demands, I know the challenges, I know the things that are involved from different stages and all that is required of a parent. I am not asking anybody to beat up his or herself, but like we do as successful people, we should be decisive about this. We should have a decision. We should say, no, I must succeed with parenting. I must succeed. It doesn't require you beating up yourself. It only requires you deciding that this thing must work, that you must get it right. It only requires that you should be goal driven, have your purpose in view at every time, okay, and pay every required price or prices until your required or your desired end is achieved. Okay, so be prepared to pay every price prices that you ought to pay until you get it right, until it is done correctly. The reason we're emphasizing this is that many parents are often bothered about their title, status, position, identity than what is needed to make their child or children become improved. Many times we see this happen over and over, but parents do the aforementioned acts without knowing it. Many times they just give instructions to the child because of who they are and not because of who the child is. Parenting is more about the child than the parents. Okay, it's more about the child than the parents. Parenting is about the child. So without putting that consideration to who the child truly is, parenting should be done to model a child to right and well-behaved adulthood, not to satisfy your ego and your reputation, like what the society thinks about you, what your organization thinks about you, what whoever thinks about you. All of these things will take their turn when you do it right, okay? But your focus should be on the child. That's the most important thing, okay? Many times people get into parenting all agitated, anxious, and expecting that the child will respond to their agitation and therefore just behave well. Children don't respond. In fact, as a parent, the more agitated, the more anxious you get, there is the high probability that you'll be doing things that you ought not to do, and your results will fail. Every child is an entity designed differently and configured to see life from a perspective that probably their mom or their dad didn't see what they are seeing, saw it differently. Their mom and dad must have seen life differently. So as a child grows into a more shaped personality, the child will be more identified with certain characteristics quite different from what the parents in most cases, have envisaged the child to become. Yeah, before we proceed, we would like to say please share our videos with family and friends. Give us your subscription, tap the notification bell, and do well to leave us a comment in the comment section. So like we said, every child is unique, and as a child grows, the child grows into a shaped personality. Sometimes the child has character or is identified with certain characteristics quite different from what the child's parents had earlier envisaged. So it becomes something complex for the parents to handle. So many times parents face challenges of trying to know where exactly to fix a particular child or based on the child's attitude. At other times, parents assume that the child has a problem or that the child is a problem, especially when the child is not responding to the known traditional way for bringing up a child. In that the way the parent tradition approves that the child should be raised. So parents begin to have difficulties at such times. So not identifying the type of parents you probably are and refusing to find out if you have any personality issue that could stand against your wish of excellent parenting is your first obstacle as succeeding with parenting. So if you really want to succeed with parenting, work on your own self first. Take the school, that's do a schooling on yourself, know your personality, understand the traits you have and how you relate with yourself and to your child, and how good of a person you are when it comes to parenting, and how well your attitude, your behavior pattern could help you achieve what your dreams are when it comes to parenting. The second thing to it, like helping to answer our questions like that we asked at the beginning of the video, is seeing your child with the lenses of what every other child does. Like if you choose to see your child with the lenses of what every other child does, you may really have a problem as a parent. So doing that is like observing when you see your child with the lenses of what every other child does and your child is not responding. It's like you just keep quiet. It's like you observing that there is a challenge and refusing to do anything about it. One thing I will always say is, if parents will take parenting to heart and at any way serious near what we do with our careers, our businesses, and all of those things that have our names tagged on them, then our streets will be free of hooligans, thugs, and touts. We've emphasized many times during this video that parenting is a skill, and as a skill, it should be acquired. Look out for books and those that are having commensurable results. Look out for books and those that have results that you can point hands to, and be humble enough to learn from them. I must say that what you will learn from them is the application. Learn the application. Like, learn what you see them do and take time to apply them to yourself. So I withdraw the other statements. Learn what you see them do. Learn the approach rather. Learn the approach to parenting. Then try to tailor it to yourself. You need wisdom to have it applied rightly. So learn that. Learn the approach. And because every child is a human, and making any human being, anybody behave like the other is never really an achievable thing. For us to deceive ourselves and say, I'm going to make this child Brian behave like maybe Henry. It's just like you don't know what you're doing as a parent, because it's unhealthy for the child and for you. The child will be like reacting in many ways as you begin to rebuke the child. Tell the child, can't you see what your brother is doing? Can't you see how your cousin behaves? Can't you see how the child will begin to like, what's she talking about? What's he talking about? At this stage, they may not directly tell you you're wrong, but their attitude will make you understand that you are having, the results you intended is not what you are getting. The child will be reacting. So it's never healthy for parents or the child or children that you force a child to behave in any particular way. But the truth is that we should learn, as parents, we should learn that the person that is parenting and needs results has to be very tactful. So you relate your own child in a way that all that you are doing suits the personality of your own child. Everything you are doing is like, take your child and do a research on your child, like this is this child and this is what I want from Maria, my daughter. I want her to be like this is who she is from what I have seen, and this is how I want to parent her. When I say want her to be like, it's not your selfish desire for the child, but that there are moral duties of a parent that you want your child to become, to turn into. So you have to sit up and do a thorough, proper work. Okay, now we must say it's clear and out that the process for raising any two child must not be the same, but that we should always know that we can get results. So the basic thing to know about parenting, as we end this video, the basic thing to know about parenting that will help us to understand the importance of this video and get results with parenting is that you must understand these 5 basic truths about children and parenting. The very first thing to know is that a child to say, is a tabula rasa. Okay, most times it is what you put in your child that you get, whether you are conscious of this truth or not. A child is just like something that has never been, no consciousness, no pre-knowledge. It is how you model this child that the child turns out to be. So every child is a tabula rasa. So you have to take it to heart that you must be conscious of what you are putting in, because if you are not conscious and the child gains consciousness and other conscious people help you to parent the child, they will give you the result you never asked for. So always know that every child is a tabula rasa. The second thing is, as a parent, in your initial stage of parenting, in the initial stage of the child's growth and development, you have all the privileges to model this child to turn to what your own standards as a parent are. Those standards you want, those big dreams you want for your child. At the earlier stage of growth and development, you have all the privileges to achieve these sets goals of yours. So you have to work with time. Okay, so that draws us to the next and the next and the next. So the third thing to know about parenting that will help you begin and do well is that you are the most important and the most influential person in your child's life until you tell him or her otherwise. As a parent, you are the alter ego, the most important person, until you relinquish that authority that God has bestowed on you to someone else, whether you know it or not. When once you set aside that's your parental role, that God-given platform in a child's life, and you carelessly give it off, or you out of mistake you give it off, then the child will move to the next person. So never relinquish your office, never give off your office as a parent. Always be conscious that you are the most important person in your child's life. Now, the fourth thing to know about parenting and about children that will help you know how to succeed is that the child's love for his or her parents, it's pure. Your child's love for you is pure and unequivocal. So not minding what you've done right or you've done wrong, what is required of you as a parent is to sit your child down and from the heart talk to the child. Explain what has gone out of proportion, what should be, how you feel, and both of you will have it moving on. Everybody, child will get along, because child's love for parents, for his or her parents, it's pure and unequivocal. So that's that. So you move towards it. And the fifth thing, which is the last thing for us, is that parents, let's all know that we don't have all the time we think we have. The child grows at all levels every other day. Your child grows every other day. Your child is growing. As the second minutes hour ticks, the child is growing. He's growing out of childhood. He's growing out of teenagehood. He's growing out of all of those stages. So very soon you no more have the child you thought you had. So what do? Work with time. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for staying with us till this very last points we gave, we want to say thank you. And please like our video, share with your family and friends. Do well to subscribe with us to keep yourself updated and to help us grow. And tap the notification bell so every time we upload, you are there with us. Then leave us a comment in the comment section. Tell us your mind. If you have things that work for parenting, please do well to leave them in the comment section. Thank you and stay blessed.